Welcome to the third interview in the Crypto Spendthrift interview sessions. I'm here with Pascal from Bounty0x, and he's here to talk about the bounty system in the crypto environment and his platform. So, first of all, you can just introduce yourself, Pascal, and then tell us what your platform is.
Hey Cameron, yeah. So first things first, thanks for having me. My name is Pascal. I'm a co-founder of Bounty0x. I've been quite active in the crypto space, mainly in marketing and PR, and that's kind of how I got into this whole bounty sphere, where started participating in some bounty campaigns for smaller ICOs because I think that's a very interesting marketing concept. And I think that this concept can be expanded to so much more than just the ICO space if a certain number of limitations are solved. And that's how essentially the idea for Bounty0x popped up. So just, to solve all these inefficiencies. So I got together with my co-founders, and we just decided to build this thing. So Bounty0x is a decentralized bounty hunting network, enabling anyone to post bounty campaigns, bounty hunters to complete bounties, and bounty sheriffs to verify that the bounty was completed in order to automatically release payment. And yeah, for the people that may not know what a bounty is, because that's this, it can be this shady concept. A bounty can essentially be everything. So a bounty is just a reward allocated for the completion of a highly specific task. In the Old West, the government used to post bounties for the capture of dangerous criminals. That's these huge wanted signs that you see in movies where kind of to capture somebody dead or alive.
Yeah, the classic bounty.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you go to bounty0x.io, you'll see that we followed also kind of this Old West concept for the design of our website. So yeah, I think that's, I really like that part. And yeah, so that's what a bounty is. And around 3 to 4 weeks ago, we launched an alpha platform for the Bounty0x network, which was just, to test the concept, if there's actually demand for such a platform before we start raising any funds or generating our own token. And there actually is. So, I mean, at the moment, there's over a dozen posted bounties on the network, and which amount to around 700,000 worth of rewards. So I'm really happy how this worked out, and yeah, really happy to see the response from the community about the whole project.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I decided to kind of have you on, because bounties were really a very hard thing to kind of keep track of, especially since when you use Bitcoin Talk, it's just like pages and pages, and it really kind of like discourage you if you're just trying to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can you just tell us about like why bounties are important?
Yeah, so bounties are important not just for the company that posts them, but also for the bounty hunter. But let's start by, with the benefits for the startup or company that posts them. So first of all, bounties are a super effective and low-cost marketing strategy, because startups that are issuing a token and that may not have the liquidity yet, to pay, to spend thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars on a huge marketing campaign, they can just allocate a certain percentage of their tokens, usually between 0.5 to 1%, to a bounty campaign. And this way they are incentivizing the community, the whole crypto community, essentially, to write articles about the project, to make videos about the project, and to just spread the word and create a healthy community around it. And the second big benefit, and that's not just for, this benefit is not just for the business that posts it, but for the whole crypto space in general. That's why we're so excited also for Bounty0x, is that bounties help to write better software. And this is something critical in the current crypto space, where we see these hacks practically on a monthly basis. I mean, I'm not going to mention any names, but there are some pretty big ones out there. And a recent one occurred, just 2 weeks ago, that affected several addresses. So bounties really help to write better software, either through smart contract auditing bounties, or directly bug bounties for all these platforms that are being built on the blockchain. So that's the second main benefit for how the whole space and businesses benefit from bounties. And secondly, bounties are also very beneficial for the people that participate in them, the bounty hunters, because it enables them to get involved in a project they may really like to support without having to invest capital, but instead investing their attention and their time by, writing articles, them scanning the code, and just making sure that everything is okay there. And of course, a part of that, bounty hunters can do this to build a second income because some bigger bounties can be very profitable. And we actually believe at Bounties0x that in the next 2 to 3 years, bounty hunting can eventually become a career in the crypto space. And that's kind of why we are also moving towards developing our reputation system on the network, where the reputation of a bounty hunter is logged, and also leaderboards. So we really think that bounty hunting is just something that will keep growing in the crypto space. And it already is a key concept. And we just think that it's going to get more important as adoption rate keeps growing.
Yeah, it's definitely very important to get the community on board with crypto, because sometimes there are cryptos with either decent concepts that are actually have a working project, or just decent fundamentals overall, but no one really cares about them because they don't have a community behind them.
Exactly.
I really do think bounties can help kind of build up that community sentiment, especially
Absolutely.
now when crypto is almost some coins just go up almost strictly by crowd hype more than it's the good.
Yeah.
And then, like you said about kind of having the community also kind of vet the coding. Well, there's all that other instance that's with the fork. People are making a big issue or whatever about it, because there was one specific little bug in it that would stop the entire network, and they're blaming the lack of peer review and other things.
Yeah.
So bounties are definitely, I can see, definitely important for crypto ICOs to really look into and actually offer up for the community to do. So I noticed in your white paper you had this bounty sheriff role. Kind of describe that for people who don't know what it is, because that's kind of the new aspect you're kind of throwing in this platform.
Yes, correct. So before maybe I dive into that, let me briefly explain the problem that the bounty sheriff solves. So at the moment when a company or just anyone wants to hold a bounty campaign, he needs to review every single bounty submission by himself. And, some bounties receive maybe just a couple dozen submissions, but some receive hundreds and some receive thousands, like, for example, in Status or Bancor. So what the bounty sheriff does is outsource this review job to a decentralized network of checkers. So companies or startups or whoever posts a bounty will not have to review the submissions when he posts it on the Bounty0x network. This review task will be performed by this decentralized you can call it a worker network of bounty sheriffs that review submissions. And bounty sheriffs need to stake the BNTY token in order to get the right to make reviews. And if they make an incorrect review, then a portion of those staked tokens is burned. However, if they make a correct review, then they will get a reward for that in order to incentivize positive behavior on the network.
All right, yeah, sounds good. So I noticed on the Facebook and Twitter bounties, that's one of the lower end that gets reviewed. So how do you think you're going to tackle when people using fake followers or things like that? Because that also kind of is an issue in crypto Twitter right now. People saying sock puppet accounts and such.
Yeah, absolutely. That fake followers are a huge problem. Not just in the crypto space where it is a big problem there, but also in the whole online marketing world. This is a big problem. And one of the ways how we are going to approach this, so first of all, Facebook and Twitter bounties are because we have 3 bounty categories. So we have automated bounties, sheriff bounties, and super bounties. And automated bounties are bounties that are checked directly by an API. So that includes Facebook bounties, Twitter bounties, referral link bounties. So all these bounties that can be automated, that don't need somebody to check them. So Facebook and Twitter bounties will be measured by the impact they actually had. So not just by the follower count of the bounty hunter, which can be easily manipulated, as you mentioned, but rather by the impressions that their work actually received.
All right. Because if it's like super organic, it's going to get more like retweets and likes.
Correct,
and stuff,
yes.
Stuff like that.
Yes.
So it's
yes,
like
exactly.
interactions. Yeah, okay. So going back to like the kind of sheriff part, will there be kind of like an averaging for like the reviewer rating, or is it like a majority consensus? This question really pops up because one of my friends has like that kind of search engine reviewer job or whatever. He gets like penalized if he falls out of like their certain threshold, like even if it's like just one notch away. So like, how does that kind of penalty work?
Yes.
For you?
So on the Bounty0x network, there won't be sort of like different scores of reviews. A bounty sheriff will either approve a submission or reject it. So that's the two outcomes the submissions can have. And for the beta launch of the platform, which will take place sometime in the second quarter of 2018, every bounty submission will be reviewed by 3 bounty sheriffs. So, if I, for example, I'm a bounty hunter on the Bounty0x network and I submit my work, this work will be checked by 3 bounty sheriffs. And if the majority of these bounty sheriffs approve the submission, for example, 2 out of 3 approve the submission, then the submission is approved. However, the third bounty sheriff that didn't make the same decision as the other 2, he will be penalized, and a portion of his staked BNTY tokens will be permanently burned. And so, yeah, as I said, for the beta platform, every bounty submission will be checked by 3 bounty sheriffs. And later when the full network deploys, which will be sometime around the third quarter 2018, then we are considering to increase this number to 5 bounty sheriffs if we see that it's necessary.
Oh, all right. Definitely gives security to the people issuing bounties then. What about like a general idea of how penalized you get for getting one of these reviews wrong?
Yes, so I can't announce any precise numbers yet.
Yeah.
But of course, that will depend. First of all, it will depend on the current exchange rate of the BNTY token. So that's one point. And secondly, however, of course, we will. So one idea I can maybe already give is that a bounty sheriff will not lose the whole amount of his staked tokens. So, if he stakes, for example, $1,000 worth of BNTY and makes an incorrect submission, the $1,000 will not get entirely burned. So he will still have something left. We're probably looking at something between a 10 and a 20% of that initial amount. But as I said, there's no really no confirmed numbers in that aspect yet.
Yeah, I'm sure people will just be happy that they're not getting fully penalized for one wrong a review or such.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, humans make errors. That's how it is.
Yeah.
And we do want to give sheriffs a strong incentive to make correct reviews. That's why the penalization is going to be significant, but not too significant as to, just that the bounty sheriff will get frustrated and just leaves Bounty0x. So it's going to be, we will find a middle point in there.
All right. So what about like, you said eventually your review system's going to come online. So what's going to be kind of a barrier from people to just make new accounts in case they had a bad reputation while accepting bounties?
You mean for the bounty sheriff role or the bounty hunter role?
Really the bounty hunter role.
Okay. Yeah, so bounty hunters, we will tie this reputation to a certain Ether address. So that's how we think is the most efficient way to structure reputations for, the next decade or next 2 decades. So really, if a bounty hunter goes ahead and signs up with a new Ether address, then there isn't much we can do.
Yeah.
We are considering to maybe integrate with solutions like Civic in order to avoid bounty hunters to sign up with multiple Ether addresses. But this is still something that our CTO is exploring, how we could actually make this work from the tech side.
Yeah. It would probably be good to have some kind of like second solution that kind of reassures that this is one real person compared to just anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
Because that's kind of another kind of hot topic in crypto right now, since a lot of newer platforms are kind of shedding off anonymity compared to what Bitcoin vision was and all that. But it's probably more necessary for some of these platforms to go that direction than, coins that are just meant to be spent or stored.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So one interesting thing I saw was quarterly buybacks. And the thing with buybacks I've noticed is if they're too, like, if they occur too often, they usually end up with the funds being drained relatively quickly by people just constantly trading. So is that like a factor of you making it a quarterly buyback?
Yes, so what we do is so Bounties0x is profitable already, and a portion of the company profits, because we take when a bounty host posts a bounty campaign on our network, we're currently charging a 10% commission on the tokens allocated, and we're eventually going to lower that commission when the network is fully automated, because at the moment we need to review every single submission manually.
Yeah.
In the alpha. But in the beta, when this whole process is automated, we can really lower it. I mean, much more. I mean, we will have no costs associated to it. So, and the profits made from that commission, a part of them will be allocated to a quarterly buyback program that really has two main purposes. So the first one is that this quarterly buyback program will allow us to set like a price floor, because especially in staking mechanisms, and especially in the staking mechanism for our case, it is important that the price doesn't go below a certain level, or at least not drastically. Because, for example, let's say, I'm Bounty Sheriff and I stake, again, $1,000 worth of BNTY because I want to make reviews. If suddenly the price of BNTY drops by, something crazy like 50%, then those stake tokens are just worth $500. And the Bounty Sheriff would have either to add more tokens in order to match his initial stake, or he would lose actually the interest in making correct submissions, because right now the penalization would be lower on the proportional penalization on $500 is of course lower than on $1,000. So for that reason, we will have a quarterly buyback program to keep the price above a certain limit. And the second reason why we are having a quarterly buyback program is that a portion of the botback programs, of the botback tokens, BNTY tokens, will be used for an ongoing bounty campaign to further grow the Bounties0x network. So if you go right now on alpha.bounties0x.io, you will see that there are 5 bounties that are titled BNTY, the BNTY bounties. So there's the BNTY articles bounty, BNTY back bounties, and a couple more. And we plan to make this, put this at the core of our marketing machine and machine to grow our platform. So every quarter we will buy back BNTY tokens that we can use to further grow our own bounty campaign. So instead of like these ICO startups that just have a bounty campaign that goes on for maybe 1 month or 2 months leading up to their token sale, we will actually have one that will go around 365 days of the year, many years. So that's the 2 reasons for the buyback program. It isn't really structured in a way, to serve kind of as a security to tell investors or contributors, we'll buy back tokens just to increase the price. That's not the purpose. The main purpose of this is to support the staking mechanism and to have a long-term bounty campaign to further grow the Bounty0x network.
That's definitely a better reason to have a buyback program than just keep the price the same, just to
exactly
inspire speculators or investors to keep going with Bounty0x. So this kind of question just kind of randomly popped in my head. So I know you say your platform is mainly for ICO launchers, but I've really been seeing kind of investor groups being interested in supporting coins, even if like the team's not directly involved with them. Do you think Bounty0x will be able to host like people who aren't necessarily with the coin but are offering bounties for it to kind of like help out that crowd sentiment?
Um, Sorry, could you maybe repeat that last part?
So like groups of investors that aren't really associated with the ICO or coin, but are
Hmm.
willing to kind of either like put out a spread of that coin for their own kind of bounties to help spread the word about a certain.
Yes, yes, of course. I mean, the anyone can post a bounty campaign, and and that individual, or it can be a company, can be an individual, can even be a government or an institution. So there isn't really any limits, and that individual can decide if he's going to, make the bounty in Bitcoin, if he wants to put the bounty in Ether, or if he wants to put the bounty in any other token that he may consider. I mean, our ultimate goal, we're just getting started in the ICO space
Yeah.
because there's this demand, there's this demand for bounty campaigns, and it's the perfect test case to check our network works correctly, check that the staking mechanism works correctly, all the game theoretics are in place. And after that is complete, we will roll out of the crypto space, which is really our ultimate goal, out into the consulting world, online marketing space, research world. So, for example, a government or an institution could post a bounty for finding a cure for a certain type of cancer. Software development, of course. And yeah, that's really the long-term vision for Bounty0x. I mean, we're getting
All
started
right.
in the ICO space because there's this demand, but our long-term goal is to move out of it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see now because crypto is like very on the wall that people already use the concept of bounties and it's just right there.
Of course, yeah.
So when will people be able to start using this platform? You said it's an alpha now.
Yeah, so anyone can go ahead and check out alpha.bounties0x.io. It's a working alpha. You can start submitting bounties and start earning rewards. And our beta will go online in the second quarter of 2018. So that will include already the staking mechanism for bounty sheriffs, and all the token mechanics for the network.
All right, sounds good. Is there anything else you kind of want to tell the listeners?
Well, I think we covered pretty much everything. I mean, those were really good questions, so really really happy to answer them. And yeah, if somebody wants to learn more about Bounty0x, just head over to bounties0x.io, and check out our Old West inspired website. We're also on Telegram, so feel free to join us there if you have any questions. And yeah, Bounties0x is holding a pre-sale capped at 250,000 right now in 2 days, so on November 20th. And we're also holding a main sale on December 15th, which is capped at 1.5 million.
All right. Well, it's been great to have you, Pascal.
Thanks for having me, Cameron.